This video will focus on self-authorship, specifically focusing on Keegan's theory of the evolution of consciousness. Now, the students who will be featured in this video did not have any life-changing experiences such as the scenarios in the book. However, they did make conscious changes that have changed the path of the life that they have at Texas Tech University. I work as an advisor for the Tech Activities Board, and that board is responsible for bringing educational, entertaining, and diverse programs to Texas Tech students. Of that number, the largest group that I work with within this board is a general membership, where there are 30 to 40 members. And they're responsible for the programming, for planning the events, the public relations, the marketing, and even the day of the event tasks as well. Of those students, we always have a few that go above and beyond, and they seem to shine. We have several of those, and they are rewarded by their peers as being named rock stars. The following is the story of one of our freshmen rock stars.
But I really learned you have to be responsible for your organization to work. Everybody has to be responsible for their job. Every week we're assigned jobs, and if that person doesn't do their job, usually the actual event that you're putting on for your committee won't do as well because that one person wasn't part of the group. So I really learned that being responsible for yourself and making sure everyone else is responsible as a whole. If someone's not doing their job, help them. Don't make them do their job on your own. I learned that you need to help them, and they'll help you back, and you'll be better as a group together. And through this, I've learned there's a lot of leadership potential in this organization. And I was a part of Scouts, and I like being a leader from that. I learned a lot about leadership, and I see that there's a lot of leadership in Tech Activity Boards, and which is why I'm looking to actually pursue this next year, a coordinating position, because I feel like although I did start off as a kid who just wanted to make some PowerPoint, I ended up actually learning that this organization can help me help me progress my leadership skills. So this is why next year I'm looking to pursue this, because I can advance my leadership by showing people what I've learned and applying those to real life to hopefully benefit TAB in the long run. And so through all of TAB together, it's really helped me become more of a leadership and really upgraded my leadership potential and helped me progress with working with other individuals together.
Once a student has become a general member, he or she finds out about what Tech Activities Board is all about. Then they can make the conscious decision of if they want to progress another step and apply as a coordinator of one of the 7 committees which we have. Now, the coordinator is responsible for groups of students. There are about 8 to 9 students in each of the committees. The coordinator is responsible for delegating tasks to each of these members. And all the time, the coordinator must realize that if one of these students falls through on their responsibility, the coordinator will be responsible for making sure that it gets done.
This year is my 3rd year with TAB, and I decided to join TAB when I first came to Tech as a transfer student because I really wanted to get to know more about a lot of other people, because this was my first time getting into a 4-year university. And so I just really wanted to see the diversity that I guess like a lot of the student organizations would bring here to Texas Tech. And so coming from a small town, like I grew up kind of very introverted, and so I feel like TAB was kind of an outlet for me to become a little bit more social and to kind of grow as a person in a way. And I guess like being a general member for the first 2 years of TAB, I felt like, I was just kind of a follower, mostly a follower. I'll do all of the things that I was told. I guess not really taking a lot of responsibility. And so one of the reasons why I decided to take the next step forward is to become a coordinator. And so one of the reasons for that is because I really wanted to take all the experience that I've learned for the past 2 years being as a general member in TAB, and to kind of bring up another responsibility, to have that responsibility, and I guess like to be more of a leader to other future TAB members.
My name is Alyssa Singleton, and I am the Special Programs Coordinator in TAB. I guess I'll start with like where I came from. I'm from San Antonio, and I came to Tech wanting to major in biology and minor in psychology. And freshman year, I didn't have really like a place like that I belonged or anything like that, and then I found TAB. And I applied and interviewed and got in, and I've really loved it. It's been like my little home away from home and my little family here at Tech, and it's also helped me grow as a person and as a leader. I've always thought that I've been like a strong leader, but TAB has definitely changed that for me, like from what I was before and what I am now. When I started in TAB, I was in daytime committee, and I took on a lot of responsibility there. I took it running and I loved it. And then coming into sophomore year, I was in special programs. I wasn't ready yet to take a step up. Had a hard time freshman year transitioning from high school to college, and so decided to just take it easy one more year and take harder classes and see how that went. And that went well, so I thought that maybe I'd be ready to finally, junior year, apply to be a coordinator. And so I applied to be the Special Programs Coordinator, and I got that. And so this year I'm currently serving as Special Programs, which is a lot more responsibility from what I had as just a committee member. As a committee member, you have responsibility, but it's just like one task, maybe like once a week kind of thing. And if you don't complete that task, usually the responsibility falls on your coordinator, like I'm having to experience currently with my own committee. Like if you assign them something and they don't get it done, it falls on you. So there's not really much accountability in place. And like for me, my accountability is that I'm very goal driven, and there's things that like I have priorities and stuff like that, and I don't like letting people down. So that's my accountability on myself that I place there. But I think it's like a personal option if you want to have that accountability. It's nothing like that's set in stone.
Once a student has served as a coordinator of a committee, he or she can decide if they want to evolve and make the next step. So they must make a conscious decision to see if they want to be part of the leadership team, which is comprised of our president, our vice president for communications and marketing, and our vice president for recruitment and retention. As these are the top 3 positions within our organization, much is expected from these students. So the student decides that he or she is ready to make that next step by using all of the information that they've learned from being a general member and being a coordinator, and want to increase their responsibilities. They have the option to do so. Next are the stories of 2 members of our leadership team.
Background in student activities. I had done it all through public school, from 2nd grade all the way to my senior year in high school. And so I knew I wanted to be involved on campus, and particularly planning events. And so I was a member of the concerts committee for my freshman year, and I loved it. I thought it was so much fun. It's so cool to be a part of something on campus. And decided to apply and be the concerts coordinator. So I was my sophomore year, and that was the most exciting things. I was so proud of everything that, like, all of my events and the outcomes of how everything went, and I was so proud of my committee and proud of myself for being able to lead a group of not only like peers, but people who are older than me and people who are younger than me and people my own age, and for them to actually take me seriously. That's pretty awesome. And I decided I wanted to apply for president my junior year, and I wasn't selected, and it was kind of an eye-opening experience. And I could have, I don't know, my first reaction to not getting presidency, I wanted to just quit. I wanted to give up and say, whatever, like, I'm hurt about it. I don't feel respected. And then I reconsidered and I thought through it. And I've matured a lot. I can tell it myself, especially coming from just being a general TAB member and applying for presidency, that I love TAB and I love everything that it stands for, and I love doing things for my fellow students at Texas Tech. And I think a lot of it has come through working with other people and working with all the advisors at TAB, and how much I've learned about working for a purpose rather than for yourself. And so now, after reapplying for a vice president position, I'm still here, and I love TAB, and I still love doing the same events that I did as a freshman, and I did in high school and middle school. And yeah, I've grown, even in my own opinion.
After being coordinator, during being coordinator, I looked up at the leadership team and I saw the positions they held and all the responsibilities they had, and especially the president, and I was really interested in it because she was kind of the face of TAB, and she made sure that TAB was seen as a great organization and that it ran smoothly, and making sure that all the committees were happy and things, and I thought this was really a thing that I could step up to. So after much consideration and thinking about it, I decided to apply to be president. And of course I was nervous because I was running against two other well-qualified candidates for the president position. But after 3 rounds of interviews, one from coordinators, one from advisors, and one from the director of the student building, I was chosen to be president, and I was very excited for that position. So far, this position has been very rewarding to me. The opportunities that have approached me with this position have really, I know, will further me in my life and my career. I've met many people, great advisors, great leaders, other leaders on campus, from the SGA president to the RHA president, hospitality people. You form really great networking connections, and I love that. Also, like being the main person, I like to be involved with all the events on campus. So this is a great way to be informed on everything that's going around campus. And also, I like to keep the morale up in our organization. It's hard when you have two ideas coming at you, but from two different directions, and it's hard to make everyone happy, and that's one of the things I have learned as president, that sometimes you can't make everyone happy, but you just got to come to a consensus and make sure that the majority of people are in agreement of the decision that you are making. So I've learned a lot being TAB president. There have been some ups and downs, but I know that everything will be good for me as an experience when I go on and then I graduate from this institution.
All of the students that you've heard from today have really written their own story. And I truly believe that all of us are self-authors, because everyone has a story to tell. I consider myself as an editor for these students because I suggest revisions which hopefully will make their decisions better. However, I believe that self-authorship doesn't end when one leaves college. I believe all of us continue to write our own story. We all continue to evolve, and we will always write our own story until the day that we die.